The nature of AI is such that it has such potential and power, but it could also create a lot of harm if it's not used responsibly. Trust does not belong to, in the case of business, the business. Trust belongs to the stakeholder. At its most basic level, we cannot do things that harm you or that surprise you. In the case of AI, there are lots of potentials for that. The famous one right now is hallucination, or AI models producing outputs that are just wrong. So you cannot trust something that is patently false. But if you believe that the AI you can trust it, and you act upon false information, that's a very big problem. You do know many things that bear on accuracy, therefore trust. You do know what data sets went into training the models. Humans made those decisions. If you want to hook your model up to the World Wide Web, you've made that decision, and you know what's on the World Wide Web. But if you curate data sets, you should be able to stand by and say the accuracy of what comes out the other end of the model is a function of the data that trained it and the data that continues to feed it. Another one is transparency. One is, so tell me about those data sets. Tell me about the people who made those decisions. Are they diverse teams? Are they not? Tell me when I'm interacting with an AI. Did that employment decision, was that made by a human? So at the Data and Trust Alliance, we have tools and methods that practitioners, whether they are in human resources and procurement, to ensure that whatever they're using for human resource decisions, employment decisions, do not have bias as a result of algorithms. Practitioners in merger and acquisition teams, M&A teams, do those teams know what questions to ask, what criteria to use to assess both the value and the risks of acquiring or investing in these new kinds of, radically new kinds of businesses. And we're trying to work both sides of the equation. Value, like what is the business value of investing in AI, but also earning trust.